here's something that you didn't know. 2 of those special atomic bombs haven't gone off.
Once again, my name is Nick Masick, and we've also got Vital Juiced. Welcome back to Fantasy TE. We are missing again for the second week Lonnie Cox, our partner. Grandmother's still in the hospital. We wish him the best, hopefully for speedy recovery, and hopefully we'll get him back soon. But in the meantime, we hope his family is doing well. Okay. Man, we got a lot to unpack this week. There's a lot of shit that happened.
Dude, I mean, yeah, fancy. This has been a big fantasy week, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it was, and we're right in the middle of it too. Like this is I think for most, what is it, week 8? We're just past the halfway point pretty much in everybody's fantasy season. So, all right. Well, so do you want to, we should probably address the biggest thing first, Derrick Henry. Yeah.
Season ending, they say too. Does he have to have surgery on his foot?
Yeah, he's getting surgery. So apparently it's a broken bone in his foot and he does need surgery for it. But they said there's no timetable for when he's going to be back. Especially because of the kind of runner, and that's the thing. It's, if a guy breaks like a bone in their hand, usually a lot of times, depending on the position, they just club it and they're back in, especially if they're a defensive player. But man, the kind of runner that he is, they said
if he comes back too soon, he'll hurt his foot right away. Isn't he ahead of snaps by 150, the next running back?
Yeah, I mean his workload is tremendous, but he's always been able to withstand it, up until this point. So I don't know exactly what happened. It was a freak injury or an accident or whatever. But the thing is with a broken bone though, and this is what I would say for everybody, because I have him in one of my leagues, don't drop him. Because the thing with a broken bone is bones heal. If there's not a lot of soft tissue damage, I would say hang on to him, because you never know. He might be back for your championship week or something like that. You know what I mean? We're talking 7-8 weeks. And
I think you're being hopeful, man. He's coming back.
I'm not saying don't try to replace him. And I think realistically, the Titans could also have him back for their playoff run also potentially. But that's from a real football standpoint. But from a fantasy football standpoint, man, broken bone can be, it can, usually they say 4 to 6 weeks. Now this one, they're saying they don't know. It could be longer depending on what else is wrong. So I'm just saying don't drop him, because remember, we have an extra week of fantasy this year. The second, because we split our championship week into 2 weeks. The second week of our championship week is week 17. And here we are, we're about to go into week 9. So yeah, it's an outside chance, but there is a realistic chance, because the initially thing that they said was 6 to 10 weeks. On the front end of that, 7 weeks out, he might be running again on the football field. So don't drop him. Put him in your IR spot.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying. But yeah, replacing him is going to be a lot of people's top priority, and trying to prevent the team that had him from replacing him is also going to be an issue on waivers. So, because a lot of the teams that had Henry are in near the top of their leagues. So it's theoretically you may see some of these top tier teams fall. For instance, Steve's got the highest scoring team in our league, and he dropped to Stephanie, who's got the worst record in our league this week because Henry didn't score shit.
Yeah, dude, I saw that shift. It was a 90% chance Steve was winning, and then all of a sudden, no.
And now it's still not a done deal. She needs some guys to score, but yes, Steve probably is going to lose. I have Henry in one of my leagues, and I might still manage to sneak away with a win, but I don't think there's a lot of teams that have Henry that are still going to be putting up the kind of numbers that they were putting up. You probably heard, most people have probably heard by now that they signed Adrian Peterson to their practice squad. I actually think from a football standpoint, it's probably a good move. Because he is that early down kind of running back. He did show over the last couple of years too that he still has some speed.
I mean, from the football standpoint, you have to try out everybody. You know what I'm saying, to replace someone like Derrick Henry. But fantasy wise, I wouldn't go grab an AP at all. Like this isn't 12 years ago.
No, he's not the MVP of the league. He's not gonna be the MVP of the league again. But if you're in a deeper league like ours, man, I think I disagree. I think you pick him, anybody. Like right now, our league is so thin at running back that literally any running back who is a starter in real football is going to be a starter in fantasy.
Yeah, but we don't know if he's a starter yet, dude. There are a lot of these guys that get picked up on the practice squad and they don't even advance. They're like Le'Veon Bell, didn't he get dropped from a few practice squads? Like,
no, I think he's still on the Ravens, and he's got, they elevated him permanently because you can only bring somebody up from a practice squad so many times. So he's all the way signed. But they're doing more of a committee, whereas, and also it's just kind of the usage of running backs where in Tennessee, man, they have a really good offensive line for him to run behind, and they like that big, sturdy back for early down work and goal.
But I don't think AP's that dude. He's not that big, sturdy back anymore.
Oh, he's still big and sturdy. He's still big and sturdy. What he's not anymore is he's not the burner that he used to be, because he's still big, but he's not as fast as he once was. But there's a reason he's been playing in the league. He's still playing in the league, dude, because he's still decent. Like, he's not going to give you huge numbers, but I guarantee you, if he does end up even being a timeshare back, dude, timeshare backs are valuable in our league because there's so, like, we're in the middle of bye season, dude, and there's 14 teams. Like, if you're in a deeper league, yeah, of course you're going to pick up AP. Somebody's going to take a shot on him because there's enough guys who went out who are on injured reserve who are, you're trying to fill in for buys. Yeah, I think. I
mean, I don't know if you're really that deep, but I still think there are always better waiver targets. I don't think AP is going to pay out for him. If he does, not for a while.
Oh no, I think
they have a decent backup. He's not terrible.
Darrington Evans got hurt. He's on injured reserve, dude.
No,
Jeremy McNichols is just a passing down back. He's only been used as a passing down back.
Yeah.
He's he's good. He's talented. Yeah, of course his value is going to go up, but he's kind of like a Tony Pollard. I don't think they believe that he can handle the workload and running between the tackles. And so much of their offense is predicated on that. And also the play action pass, which teams just aren't going to respect as much if it's McNichols. Like,
it's going to really hurt Tannehill's numbers. The whole team, really. Yeah.
It could, yeah. But that's what putting AP back there does. Yeah. Are you as worried about an 80-yard breakout? No. But could AP still give you 7 or 8 yards behind a giant hole that line opens up? Yes, he can. He can still bounce some tackles, dude. So, he's not as valuable, obviously. He's never going to be what he once was. He's never going to be Henry.
We'll see if he gets out of the practice squad. That's what
Oh, dude, I think he's definitely going to get elevated. I think he will be the starting. My guess is he is the starting one. Who else is out there, dude? The Ravens signed everybody. Like, there's no.
I'm sure there's somebody or nobody, dude. I don't know. I just don't see anyone who could actually fill his role in the offense.
They're gonna, like I said, I think he will fill his role to a degree in the offense. Not as much passing. Darrington Evans is McNichols is gonna get more work probably, but he's gonna fill a little bit of that early down like role where they're just gashing teams with huge holes. And he's going to give you 4 or 5 instead of 8 or 10, probably. He's not Derrick Henry, but he's still Adrian Peterson. He's still productive. He's still strong, and he can still run through some holes, dude. But literally, the Ravens signed. I would say normally I would agree with you, But the Ravens signed every free agent running back in the league, dude. There's nobody left. I mean, Mark Ingram, you saw he just got traded to the Saints because they needed somebody. He went back to the Saints. I think Adrian Peterson probably starts. Are they on a bye this coming week? Are the Titans on a bye? I forget. I don't think they are. I bet if AP doesn't start this week, he starts next week because there's a couple things that he is really good at. He's really good at blitz pickup. He's got a ton of experience. He still can pick up a blitz like nobody's business. And you need a guy in the backfield to protect Tannehill. And he's enough of a threat, I think, to give you the 4 yards to keep you in, positive down and distance. So, and realistically, he knows how to find a hole. He knows how to hit a hole, find a hole, and he knows how to pick up a blitz.
Listen, if to next week's going to be AP's first week, he's going to have a hard week. I think they're up against the Rams. So
yeah, it's not going to be. It's
going to be a hard welcome.
It's not going to be easy. But dude, if you're looking around the league, who do you want in the backfield picking up your blitz and hitting a hole? Dude,
I agree, but that's what I personally don't believe he is what he was. I don't know. I don't think he's going to pan out for the team. Definitely. Yeah, take a shot on him. I wouldn't. I don't know how much I would waste a waiver because waivers are critical right now, dude.
Yeah, running back spots are critical right now too, though. Yeah. And there's just not a lot of guys to go around. But no, of course he's not what he is. Nobody's saying he's what he used to be. But dude, he has been kind of productive in the last couple of years. Listen, if I can get 8 points from him next week, I'll take it because I got bye weeks to do. Dude, I got my own personal apocalypse. Dude, you get 8 points from a running back. There's a lot of teams in our league right now who'd be like, yeah, sign me up for that. I'll take it. Bye weeks, dude, it's a mess. So I think I bet every league, almost every league, all the deeper leagues, AP is going to get snatched up. And probably a lot of them are going to be the Derrick Henry teams. What else? Calvin Ridley. That was the big news before Henry went out. Did you see about Calvin Ridley?
Ridley. Oh, in Atlanta?
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's stepping away from the game in his.
Wait, was that Ridley or Gage?
Ridley, Calvin Ridley, their number one receiver. Dude, a lot of people burned it's probably a second or third round draft pick on him. He was supposed to have this huge monster year, and he is stepping away from football to address, mental health issues. That's crazy. I mean, it's not to poor choice of words.
I know what you mean.
But it's like, to me, we've never seen it before in football, especially with a player of that caliber, and devastating for, obviously good for him, like he's doing what he needs to do. That's great. You want to see that happen instead of something drastic, tragic. But man, devastating for fantasy teams, dude. Ooh, that is a blow. I'm sure there's some teams that had Henry and Ridley because that would have been a very natural 1-2 pick.
Could you imagine what a week that would be for you? I didn't even consider that.
Dude, there's definitely teams out there because that's like an early first rounder and a late second rounder in a snake draft. Very likely could have been Derrick Henry and Calvin Ridley, or even like a first and a third, whatever, depending on where you get Ridley. There's definitely tons of teams out there that have both those players and are dealing with that. Whew, that's going to be rough. And then it also brings the question, and I'm not suggesting that he's doing this, but it does beg the question if he is doing it. So I don't know exactly what the deal is with the team, the Falcons, what level of commitment they have to him regarding like his contract and everything. But if mental illness, whatever, mental health leave becomes determined as a legitimate, like sort of an injury health issue that players are allowed to take leave of absence for, and I'm not saying I don't want to go dark immediately, but you're on a bad team, right? Theoretically. One of the things I did think of is the Falcons are going to get a much better draft pick because their team's just not as good without him, like a lot worse without him. Okay. Yeah. So missing him for this year, and hopefully he's okay. Hopefully he gets well, comes back next year. They're probably going to get a higher draft pick because he doesn't play the rest of the way this year. it just gets there becomes a gray area.
I think you got to take your tinfoil hat off a little bit on this one. I just don't think the Falcons are that much better with him. Like the Falcons, like losing is so like organizational and like their offensive schemes and defense. It seems like that, like even with him there, I don't think maybe they have even picked up one more game. They're usually getting blown out by like 20 points. Like,
yeah, that's true. And I guess, theoretically, they could also just bench their guys too.
Yeah, I think he might genuinely be upset. He has to play for Atlanta. Like, I'm not.
His mental health issues
so serious.
Oh my god, having to play for the Falcons. Oh, that's
dude.
Oof, that's real. That's some real shit right there, dude. Well, hopefully he gets better. I don't know, fantasy wise, I don't know how you replace him, man. Like he wasn't having a great year anyway. It was very likely could have been
but
mental health issues.
Dude, I believe it, dude. It's all get me out of here. Like,
yeah, I believe it too. I wonder what the contractual obligations are going forward though. That's gonna be an interesting situation to monitor.
I think did he sign an extension? Because this is his second year, sophomore, right? So
no. This is like his third or fourth year.
Third? Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what his contract is. It's unprecedented. I'll put it that way. It's uncharted territory with the Calvin Ridley situation. So definitely bears monitoring.
Dak did something similar last year, right? Didn't he take some time?
He did, yes. So one of his brothers passed away at one point. I don't think it was last year, but yeah, he took like maybe he took a week or two off. I think it was
he came back and he was right back on it. Anyone didn't like, hopefully this is like he actually takes the time. It's like a 3-week process or whatever. Hopefully, I'm not putting a time frame on it, but he comes back, bounce back. All right, we're back to it.
It was, it sounds different, but you're right. Dak did the same thing. He was having some mental health issues to, address and wanted to take care of that, which is, listen, it's good. I'm glad these guys are doing that kind of stuff because life goes on outside of football. So, it's interesting to see. So let's see what else we got. The Jets beat the Bengals.
Ruined everything for everybody, dude.
Ruined a lot of people's days for sure. That was so. Just to put it into perspective, and we got the Chiefs game tonight. They're going against the Giants, the other New York team. Coming into tonight's game, the Jets are only one game behind the Chiefs, or a better way, you're spinning around with the camera. A better way to put that is the Chiefs are only one game ahead of the Jets coming into tonight. How's that? I mean, and the Jets are not good. I don't think anyone would say they're good by any stretch of the imagination, but they've beaten the two teams that they've beaten are good. They beat the Titans, who are, I think, now the number 1 seed in the AFC, and they beat the Bengals, who were coming into last week the number 1 seed in the AFC. So who the hell knows about the AFC and or the Jets? Just when you thought you could count on them for something. I don't know. So who is the best team in the AFC right now? Who do you like in the? It's because it's really mixed up. You've got the Titans, the Titans and the Raiders are at the top, which those teams are both. I don't buy it. You got the Bills, who've looked suspect. You've got the Chargers.
I think I would have to go with the Bills only because of the defense, because I think a lot of these like suspect teams are on their offense, like because there's different things that keep happening, and the Bills are the most solid like thing to fall back on. Yeah. So the AFC's probably theirs to lose.
You're probably right. I think you're right. And the team that they just got beat by, the Titans, obviously just lost their best player. If it wasn't for the Henry injury, I'd say the Titans. I was gonna say this week, I would have said the Titans are the best team in the AFC. They're at the top, but they also just beat 2 of the preseason Super Bowl pick contenders. Now, here's another question. Do you think the Chiefs make the playoffs? Is tonight, let me ask you this. Is tonight a must win for the Chiefs?
Yeah, numbers wise, it is. They'll just be too far back.
3-5. I mean, yes, they will be too far back, but not really too far. Like 3-5 is actually, because of the mess that the AFC is, it's still not, it doesn't put them out.
I don't think the other teams are going to be dropping games, though, is what I'm saying. Even if the Titans, I think, are well enough organization that they still won even without Henry. Yeah. So I think they can hemorrhage a couple of drops, but they'll be fine. They're so ahead, right?
Yeah. I'm not talking about the Chiefs catching up to like the number 1 seed. I'm just talking about them making the playoffs. Remember, in a 7-team playoff. So you got teams at the bottom that are like the Steelers and the Patriots right now that are in, and the Browns who just lost. The
Steelers are good. Like Ben Roethlisberger isn't, but the Steelers themselves are a good team. Like Roethlisberger is trash, but the Steelers they beat a really good team their first game this season too. What was it like? Was it the Bills? Didn't they beat the Bills?
Yeah, they beat the Bills. But I kind of throw week 1 out. I throw week 1 out of the window because look what happened to the Packers week 1. They got just destroyed by the Saints.
Yeah,
their number 1 seed. So week 1, I think there's a little bit of, you have to take a little bit of it and just kind of throw it out the window when you're talking about how good a team is right now, week 8, and what they're doing. The Steelers, yes. Could the Steelers beat the Chiefs and take that spot? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, could the Patriots beat the Chiefs? Do they look better than them right now? Yeah, I think they do. But could the Chiefs get it together and catch those teams and slide into the playoffs at a 6 or a 7 seed?
But will they? Are they doing anything to improve this defense at all? At all? I don't see any moves being made. I don't hear about anything. They're just making better plays.
That's a very good point. I don't see you haven't seen them do anything. That's a really good point. They were talking about making a move for Stephon Gilmore, which would have been, then you're like, oh yeah, they're going to make a run now. They're going to make a push. They got a lockdown corner, which changes the whole defense, changes everything. Aside from hoping, I guess maybe some of the guys who are banged up get healthy. I don't know who's injured on their defense right now, but
that must be it. They must really be believing in these injured guys to come back and right the ship. But I don't know, man. They got to do something now.
Yeah. I mean, it also is probably a salary cap issue too. That's a lot of money tied up in that offense.
Acting like Brady.
Yeah, Mahomes didn't take a discount, on the back end of his deal. If the collective bargaining agreement increases, they'll be getting a pretty good deal with him. But on the front end of this deal, he's getting paid a lot of money on an annual basis. So I don't know. Do you think all right, let me ask you this. If they beat the Giants tonight, they'll be 4-4. Okay. Right there with the Patriots and the Browns. Mm-hmm. If they do that, do you think they make the playoffs? Do you think they're the 7? They can sneak in at the 7 seed?
Yeah, of course it's possible. I'm not going to say no. I just don't think it's likely, but it's possible.
Even if they go 4-4, they destroy the Giants tonight. Do you, if you're betting, are you saying yes, they make the playoffs, or no, they don't make the playoffs? Week 8, man. We're at week 8, week 9, whatever. We're going into week 9.
And this is contingent if they beat the Giants.
They beat the Giants tonight. They go 4-4. Are you going to say yes?
Yeah, I'll put it on. I'll put it on because they're a winning organization. I would hope. I would give it to them.
Yeah, I think so too. I think they could end up being the 6 or the 7 seed, which is going to be a really interesting position to see them in. If they do, I want them. You want them in the playoffs. You want the Chiefs to make the tournament because it's going to make things more interesting, but they're going to have to go. They're going to be a road dog team in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. We've never seen that before. So I'd love to see them get hot at the end of the year and slip in at one of those low seeds just because it'll throw everything really interesting. The AFC playoffs. Yeah. I mean, I think the AFC playoffs are going to be really interesting this year. So looking forward to that. Saints beat the Bucks regular season again, which I would say actually bodes poorly for everybody else because, you know, when the Bucks lose to the Saints in the regular season, they're going to come back and win the Super Bowl. No, but that was a tough game for both teams. It was a good game. Winston obviously got knocked out. He's done for the season. So a big win for the Saints, but are they going to have enough going forward to be competitive after this game without Winston? I know Winston hasn't been great, but like he has been their quarterback and they have been winning. So what do you think their chances are going forward?
I think about the same. I've heard some rumors about them wanting to work out Cam, but we'll see how that works out. How long is Taysom Hill out? If he comes back from IR, I think they'll be fine. He
might be back this week.
Okay.
Yeah, and
I think he can run the offense just fine. I mean, it's going to hurt Alvin Kamara's numbers fantasy wise, but
I actually think having Taysom Hill at quarterback doesn't hurt Kamara as much as having him come in whatever other capacity they were using. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, when he just is the option.
Yeah, I think when he's like a gimmick guy, he really hurts Kamara. I think actually having him start at quarterback, Kamara is still going to do just fine. And it actually might open up more holes because they're going to be doing more read option stuff.
Oh, yeah. It could be like a wildcat almost.
Yeah, you can see that. And you can see that even if they sign Cam. Cam Newton seems like a smart idea to at least work him out because of the style they've been playing. He seems like he could just fit in right there. But Trevor Siemian also played pretty well in relief. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting. Once again, a good team that got a win that took a bad loss from an injury standpoint, and they're right there too. I mean, they're at the bottom of the pack, but like the top 6 teams in the NFC all have really good records. They all look really good, and the Saints right there. I think the top 6 teams in the NFC have 2 losses at the most. They're either 1 or 2 loss teams. And then that 7th, I always forget because I'm looking at the conference, the standings, and I'm like, oh, the top 6. But you forget there's a 7th team that's getting into the playoffs. So it's going to be curious to see who that last team that gets in. You got the Vikings. You got, there's a couple other teams that are like who's going to make a push?
Speaking of the Vikings, I just, what's his name? Is their running back. Is he still what's his Cook, Dalvin Cook?
Yeah,
I was just saying his numbers have dropped off crazy this year because I thought he would be like the second runner to I think I'm messing up. The Titans guy.
Yeah. I mean he hasn't been getting as many touchdowns. That's what it is. He was getting a ton of touchdowns, I think, early in the season. He's still getting a lot of work. But he's also coming back from an injury too. Remember, he was out for a week, I think it was, and they used Madison. So I think they're just, it's like it's a long season. I think they're just kind of trying to keep him healthy / get him ready for a push.
I feel like the Vikings might be trending down. I don't know.
They are, but that's the thing. You got all these teams that are in that mix for that 7 seed. You got the Vikings, you got the 49ers, you got who else is in that range in that group? There's a bunch of teams that you're like, I don't see any of them making it, but one of them's gonna have to, and I don't know what. It's just like I don't know which one it's gonna be. I kind of feel like it might be the 49ers though. I think they get Jimmy G coming back. They beat the Bears, whatever. But what's his name looked better. Justin Fields made some plays. Yeah. So yeah, I think the Niners actually might sneak in. They might be that, which would be really interesting if the Niners and the Chiefs both sneak in at like the 7 seed, 2 years removed from when they were played in the Super Bowl. But those are a couple teams to watch out for if they get hot. Who else we got? What else we got? Yeah, Chiefs. Oh, the Rams. This was the big free agent signing. You're talking about making a splash move. The Rams are all in. They traded 2 contingent draft picks. There's some second day draft picks. I want to say it was a 2nd and 3rd or 3rd and 4th rounder or something for Von Miller. Yeah. So,
really?
Yep. They are all in, these Rams, man. I mean, do you think it's giving up too much of your future? You're talking about 2 pretty reasonably high picks for Von Miller, who's past his prime, but still a really good player.
No, I mean they're in a position to win now, and I don't think they've been in this position in a long time or ever. And who knows when they're going to be there again? Like, isn't Cooper Kupp? He's still about to break the record, man. Like, this kid's killing it right now, dude. They're in a position. If you're going to try to make a run for it, do it while you're hot, right? You got to win now.
Yeah, I agree. I like the move. I think they are definitely a win now team. They did go to the Super Bowl a few years ago. And they had that really hot team when Gurley was, in his prime. But
and he did not show up for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he was already starting to get banged up, I think, at that point. His knee was already giving him issues. So, but yeah, aside from that, being removed from that, yeah, they're win now, all in 100%. And I like it, man, because just one thing we learned from this week is that nothing is guaranteed. You know what I mean? Like, you could have a guy get hurt. So if you have the team and you think they're win now, dude, pull out all the stops, trade your draft picks, do everything you can. I'm 100% on board with that. I'm a win now. That's how I manage my team. Like,
that's the only way you have to do it, dude. You can't be planning for this future that may or may not happen. You may not have the pieces again. Cooper Kupp might get hurt tomorrow, dude.
Exactly.
Then what?
Right. Matt Stafford. I mean, we don't knock on wood. We don't want any of these guys to get hurt. None of them are right now. So this is the time. You go in, you go all the way. And if you miss, you say, hey, at least we gave it our best shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We left it all on the table. We put everything into it. And yeah, you might have to rebuild 5 years from now. You might be in a rebuild situation, but that's the cycle of football. But there's a lot of teams that are rebuilding right now that didn't win a Super Bowl. That maybe could have gone all in more. So yeah, I say you go for it. I like it. And so that's gonna be interesting. Von Miller playing with Aaron Donald, man. Von Miller's gonna get a lot of single blocks. Let's see how
this is gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be real interesting, man.
You think they'll play at the same time or they'll like alternate snaps?
Oh yeah. No, they're on pass rushing downs.
That's going to be so much at you.
It's going to be really hard to deal with. Yeah. So another good reason for the Titans to sign Adrian Peterson for pass protection this week.
You need it now.
You need it. The thing I love about AP as a pass blocker, he can stand up to guys like Von Miller. He's still got quick enough feet, but he is big, dude. He can take on a block. And there's just not a lot of guys like that who are on their couch right now. You know what I mean? Who played last year, who have that ability. There's not a lot of guys like that who have that kind of the experience and the physical capability of picking up a block. So we've gone through a lot of these injuries. Dak Prescott, that was rough, man. I had him in 2 leagues. I think I might still win one of those leagues, but in our league, dude, I think
you had to pick up his backup last minute. I was laughing. I was like, "Oh, you're fucked." But he didn't do terribly. He didn't do terrible. But I mean, a lot of the rest of my team didn't do great, and I was up against Cowboys, so that didn't help because he was his touchdowns went to the other Cam. So I think I need like 40 points from Kelsey tonight to win. Probably not. And also the Giants to score a shitload of points on the Chiefs because he's got the defense, but it's not looking good. What about you? What do you need tonight? You got anything going? No, I have I think a Shepard left and I'm up by 8 points. So as long as Shepard doesn't get -8 points, but I'm in the clear to win.
Yeah.
I'm going to play him either way.
Yeah. Well, you got to play him, especially with the point total, tie break situation that we're in. You're going to need those points where you're because you're going to be 4-4 if you win this week, right?
Yeah. Plus -8. Wouldn't he have to drop like 16 catches? Like,
I mean, he'd have to fumble a bunch. Dude.
Awesome.
So he would have to fumble basically and then get hurt and leave the game for you to get -8. There's not.
Yeah, it's too many.
You would have to fumble more times than is possible. Like they would not.
If they even let him in the game after that many points,
after your fourth fumble, if they still let you come back in, like that's not going to happen. No, you're good. You're straight. So that means you're going to be like just one game back from me, moving up into the.
Let's be clear. You stole a game from me. I'm still so salty about that game. Well, I should be in a much better position. You've made this season very hard on me, Nick, over that one game.
Oh, that reminds me. You're not going to be one game behind me. You'll be 2 games back from me. Yeah. Thank you for reminding me. I do have a much better record than I was thinking I did. But one nice thing that happened is a bunch of the top teams look like they're going to take the L this week. So it's not going to hurt me as much. I think Turzo is probably going to end up in the number 1 seed after this week because he's just got so many points. But Steve hopefully is going to take an L. We'll see what Stephanie's team does, but fingers crossed on that. I think Jay Guy's taking an L. To you, wait, are you beating Jay? Are you playing Jay?
Let me see.
Somebody else is playing Jay. Maybe it's you. Is it you who's beating him? Well, he's taking a loss too. So a lot of the other.
No, I got Ryan.
Yeah, dude, his team is just he's had a lot of tough beats this year, man. He's put up points, but his team is not doing so good. So yeah, that was a rough injury, but Dak, it looks like he was moving around well before the game. So I'm not worried about it next week. I don't even know if I'm going to pick up a backup quarterback. Maybe I will, but yeah, I don't know. I think he'll be back next week. I'm hoping he'll be back next week. Let's see what else. Unless that's we already have a bye week. Kyler Murray got injured too. They're saying,
really?
Huh?
I had no idea.
Yeah. They're some kind of ankle injury. They're saying he's day to day. Probably will play, but he had a pretty rough week against who was it? Who beat them? It was Thursday night, I think.
Packers.
That's right. Yeah, he did not do well. Bad week in fantasy for sure. A lot of Kyler Murray teams went down hard. T.Y. Hilton got knocked out again. Dude, he comes back for one game, he goes right back out. This time it's a concussion, but they're saying which at least it's just a concussion. I know concussions aren't great, but like he's out for this because they're playing on Thursday night, but it's not like a soft tissue injury. So he'll be back when his head's right. Sam Darnold also in concussion protocol, got knocked out at the end of that game in which the Panthers won. They beat they're the other team. They're the other NFC team that you're like, are they really going to make the playoffs? Like, it's
dude.
Right now. But hear me out. Right now,
ever since McCaffrey left, dude, like that team's.
McCaffrey's going to be back soon, though. Maybe, possibly. I think. But you've got those. So these are the 3 teams that are like kind of right there, and one of them is going to probably make the playoffs, and that's the Vikings, the Panthers, and the 49ers.
And Niners, I guess they're the most solid.
I guess you say, I guess.
And it just doesn't look good. It's like, all right.
But also the Niners are playing in the toughest division, so it's gonna be really hard for them to make it out of that. Whereas you got the Panthers probably have a much easier schedule, and same with the Vikings. I would assume they're probably gonna play the Bears and the Lions again. So yeah, it's hard to pick the 49ers coming out of that group at 3-4 right now, looking ahead at the Rams and the Cardinals, and even the Seahawks have been playing better. It's just there's gonna be some team that's not very good in the playoffs, that's for sure. Which is whatever, it's fun. Robert Tonyan, that's another bad injury. Tonyan ACL. He might have been some teams starting tight end, deeper leagues. Good news for you, Devontae Adams is coming back.
Yay.
COVID, he's gonna be out of COVID protocol. A couple other injury things. Corey Davis is he's a maybe for Thursday night's game. So that's gonna have other implications. Chris Carson, they're saying, wants to play week 10. So not this week. And I think they're on a bye this week. So it's just an extra week for him to get back. So Chris Carson might be back in the mix week 10. James Robinson got hurt also. And they're saying he's questionable, maybe going to play, maybe going to miss some time. And then of course, listen to this. Did you hear about this one? Some dude on the Ravens got shot.
When?
I don't know. Yesterday, I'm just, because that's what happens when you're on the Ravens. You might just take a bullet.
But this was like at a game. I need more information. You can't just drop that. Like,
dude, that's all it said was in the headlines. It said non-life-threatening bullet wound. Was some guy.
I disagree.
It was
all bullet wounds were threatening your life. That's why someone tried to shoot you.
After the fact, it was a non-life-threatening point of contact, apparently. So he got, I don't know, he's hospitalized, bullet wound. Some guy in their defense. It wasn't anybody fantasy relevant, but it was newsworthy injury report. Yeah, some guy in the Ravens got shot because he lives in Baltimore. So good stuff there. What else? So waivers. We already talked at length about Adrian Peterson. McNichols is probably on waivers. He's actually probably going to be the number one waiver target, especially in PPR leagues, Jeremy McNichols with the Titans, because he's probably going to get a lot of work. Carlos Hyde, certainly contingent on the James Robinson injury situation, but he's probably going to be a waiver target. Boston Scott for the Eagles with, we've got, what's his name on IR? Who's the running back? Miles Sanders. He's still on injury reserve. So he's been out. He's going to be out for a little bit longer. If Boston Scott's still available, he's probably going to be a pickup. Salvin Ahmed with the Dolphins. Devontae Parker had himself a nice game, didn't he?
Yeah.
Dude,
I think once Tua and him have chemistry, and I mean, even the Dolphins may not win the games, but they'll get points.
Those guys are going to put up points. They're going to put up numbers. I think Devontae Parker is a great pickup if he's still available on waivers. Yeah, because if anytime he's in the game, he's been heavily targeted by Tua. Tua loves him, and he's been producing. Elijah Moore, the Jets rookie wide receiver, just had a second week in a row. Nice game, bunch of points. And that I think is more contingent on Corey Davis playing or not. So if Davis ends up being out, Elijah Moore's value is much higher.
Makes sense.
He's still maybe in flex range, even if Davis is playing. But if Davis is not playing, he's definitely a big pickup. Will Fuller, I saw him on the waiver. He's coming back. I don't know if he's he's a long shot, you know. He's one of those.
Yeah, but he's a good W2, right? Because it's Dolphins' best second up.
I guess, yeah. I think he's probably their W2. Van Jefferson, that's the other wide receiver that I had on the list, because he is now the clear number 3. They're talking about trying to trade Deshaun Jackson, which kind of I don't get. Like, I mean, I guess if Deshaun Jackson isn't happy, but like if you're Deshaun Jackson, dude, I would just be like, you know what, I'm going to stick this out. Let's try to, you know, get me in those 4 wide receiver sets and let's try to win a Super Bowl, you know? That would be my thought if I was Deshaun Jackson. But he wants out. And Van Jefferson is definitely the number 3, which the number 3 receiver with the Rams is a guy you can play at flex because they're just such a pass-happy, great offense. So I say Van Jefferson, good pickup. Probably pretty consistent 10 points a week with an upside. Couple tight end guys you might be looking at if you had Tanyan or you got bye weeks. My tight end list is Freiermuth, the Steelers tight end. He had a pretty good week.
Oh, he did pretty good this week. Yeah.
Yep. Dan Arnold for the Jags. He's definitely their number 1 pass catching tight end. Good. He's been pretty solid. And then you got like guys like Cole Kmet, who's probably going to be available. Tyler Conklin is a big time target for the Vikings. He might be worth playing the rest of the way. Oh, and then somebody else was coming off of IR. Who was it? I think I stashed him maybe on a couple leagues, but who was the Washington tight end? Preseason he was pretty. Logan Thomas. He was drafted pretty high.
Oh,
Logan Thomas was like a 5th or 6th round draft pick in a lot of fantasy drafts. And he might be coming back, I think, in 2 weeks, possibly. And then you got quarterback. So Baker's probably out there. Jimmy G had a nice fantasy week. Tua also played well again in fantasy. You picked him up, right? Did you start him this week? Or you just
he did all right, but
okay, right? I mean, what, 18, 20, something like that?
I think actually only 16.
Oh, 16. Well, you can get negative points. Derek Derek Carr is coming back off of a bye. He's coming off their bye week. He's probably the number one pickup if you can get him, if you need a quarterback.
Already got him.
There you go. And then, God, I hate to say it, but Taysom Hill. Ugh. I hate Taysom Hill so much. But you know what? If you need a quarterback, he's there.
You don't have faith in Mike White next week?
I don't know, man. Let's talk about it. So Mike White killed it. We beat us in our teaser. So we took our first teaser loss of the week. We're now 5-1 in teasers. We lost by a 0.5 point to Mike White and the Jets, which, lesson learned, never bet against Mike White and the Jets. A lot of people are learning that tough lesson this week. And it was real close to, it was like a 2-point conversion. There was a bad call on a helmet to helmet hit at the end of that game. That was a good game. It was definitely exciting. So yeah, Lonnie took Mike White. He put up a 29.3 against the Bengals defense that really didn't look that bad coming in.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, will you consider him for next week's worst quarterback? Because sometimes these guys come in and they're like, boom, they strike it, lightning.
Who are they playing next week? I wouldn't put him up for worse. I think he at least will middle out now. He threw for 400 yards.
I know.
That's hard to believe that's a fluke. He could at least do 200.
It is. It's hard to believe. He's got the Colts next week though. And they got some film on him. So I don't know. And that's going to be, we'll go down the list of guys that are available. But so you won with Davis Mills, but he still put up like 20. Davis Mills, he did that thing. He did a really good game a couple weeks ago, and now he knows how to not suck. Yeah, it kind of looks that way. Although a lot of that was in garbage time, and the Rams were playing prevent defense with probably a bunch of their backup defense. You know what I mean? The Rams were not playing their starters, and they weren't playing aggressive football at that point in the game. So Davis Mills got a lot of garbage time touchdowns and points. I don't think he was. If the Rams had played all in the whole game, I think he would have gotten destroyed.
Probably.
So I don't know if I trust it.
But I think garbage time, it needs to be added to Davis Mills characteristics, because his team will most likely be behind and he'll always get garbage time.
That's a good point. He's going to have a lot of garbage time work. That's a very except also I think Tyrod Taylor might be back next week. So
really? Oh, that's big.
It's possible. But Taylor's not. He doesn't score a ton of points either. He's in that, I don't know. So we may have seen the last of Davis Mills and worst quarterback picks, which is really it's sad to see him go, honestly.
Right? Look for someone else.
He's been so good for us for so long, it seems like. And then Justin Fields, I took Fields. I got second, but he did not play bad. He didn't play poorly at all. So let's look at the quarterbacks for worst quarterback picks. We still haven't heard back from Lonnie about that. Did you fill out DraftKings yet?
Yeah.
You did? Okay, cool. So we'll do that last. But let me see quarterbacks. So first I'll go down the list of guys who had bad weeks. Matt Ryan was bad. He had a bad week this week. Mac Jones did not do great, even though they got the win. Trevor Lawrence was okay. Winston obviously is not in play. Jared Goff was terrible, but he's on a bye next week, so we can't play Goff next week. Baker Mayfield did not do well at all against the Steelers. He said Tua was Davis Mills was good. Justin Fields was good. Mike White was great, better than good. All right, so let's look ahead at the matchups. What else do we have? There's a couple others. Oh, Kyler Murray sucked. He had a bad week, and he's questionable also. So there's a number of those guys. Justin Herbert didn't do well against New England. Teddy Bridgewater did bad against Washington, and Taylor Heineke was terrible. He got so beat up against the Broncos defense. I don't know how many sacks. It was a lot. Let me see. Actually, I can find sacked 5 times.
Oof. Sore today.
Rough day. He should be questionable, but he's not. But he probably wants to.
Oh, they have a bye next week. So
they do? Okay. So yeah. So buys next week are actually going to throw a pretty big monkey wrench in our plans for worst quarterback. But let's go down the list. I can't believe I'm even going to say it, but Mahomes against Green Bay.
No way.
He had such a bad week last. We'll see how he does tonight. Okay. Jalen Hurts against the Chargers. He's been really good though.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray's questionable at San Francisco. You're not going to pick him. Probably. Justin Herbert at Philly. Philly looked good against a really bad team. You got Burrow.
I think Herbert will bounce back.
Daniel Jones, we'll see what he does tonight, but he's playing against Las Vegas. They don't have a great defense, and Daniel Jones has been putting up good numbers this year.
Mm-hmm.
Here's one that's kind of interesting. Kirk Cousins at Baltimore. Baltimore coming off a bye. I could see that not going.
Yeah, I mean, out of these, it might be the best option.
So far, yeah. Teddy Bridgewater at Dallas.
I don't know if he'll suck though. I don't think they'll win.
Okay.
But I think Dallas might give him enough room again in garbage time to get
Yes, if they get behind, if Dak's playing, is Dak playing or not kind of a scenario, because if Dak's playing, he might get garbage time work, but then also sometimes when they're way ahead, they get after the pass rush gets after him too. And I want to say they might be getting a pass rusher back off of injured reserve. Okay, so Bridgewater at Dallas. That's maybe. Matt Ryan at New Orleans.
I like that one actually.
I like that.
That's actually
That one's kind of nice.
That sounds like some picks, bro.
Yeah. Carson Wentz against the Jets, but Carson's looked better. Ryan Tannehill at the Rams.
No, yeah, and with no they're gonna have to tinker their offense this week. Yeah,
that's gonna be an interesting one. But he's had a really great connection with AJ Brown, man. AJ Brown, another big week.
Yeah, but because of Derrick Henry,
it's true. Mac Jones at Carolina, he could struggle there a little bit.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence against Buffalo.
Oh yeah, that actually yeah.
That one's kind of nice.
He's been getting some traction, but I think he might get hit in the mouth this one.
I think he might too, yeah. And then Sam Darnold, but once again, he's a questionable. We don't know if he's going to play yet against New England. Ben Roethlisberger against Chicago. Jimmy Garoppolo.
That's not good, but Chicago's worse. Way worse.
I know. Jimmy G against Arizona. Tua against Houston. Baker at Cincinnati. Davis Mills, maybe. We don't know for sure if it's going to be Davis Mills, though, at Miami. And they got Mike White at Indianapolis. And Justin Fields. Justin Fields at Pittsburgh. So you see what I mean, though? It's not a really easy week there's not clear cut, because the quarterbacks who you think might struggle have good matchups. And the ones that you generally trust have tough matchups. There's 8 or 9 quarterbacks in there that could all have the worst fantasy week.
Yeah.
Very easily. So this is going to be probably one of the toughest weeks to pick. So, but once again, we got to wait on Lonnie for that. So we'll see. We'll probably get that done tomorrow, hopefully. We got to pick it up again. We'll come back with another good teaser pick. We were very close this week, 0.5 point in one game. So we know now that the Jets are a powerhouse with Mike White. We know to be a little bit more cautious when dealing with them.
When no one has game film on them. That's a key.
We'll see about that. Okay, so tonight's game. What do you like? Who are you picking? And then we'll do DraftKings.
Chiefs, for sure.
Who'd you got?
The Chiefs.
Chiefs in a big win, or you think it's going to be kind of a close?
Big win. I don't think it will be close. I don't think the game will be decided by the fourth quarter. I think everyone will know. For sure.
Okay. All right. Any big games you expect to see from anybody on either side in particular?
I don't think so. I don't think anyone's going to make a huge leap forward. Maybe their defense will look better, but that's only because I think New York's offense is a little messy and they can capitalize on that. But,
yeah, New York's missing a lot on offense right now. They're still missing Saquon's still out. They, I think they got a bunch of guys. Kadarius Toney,
Shepard's questionable. Slayton's questionable. Like all these guys are all questionable or injured, dude.
Well, we're gonna find out pretty soon if they're playing or not. Which I may have to readjust depending on if guys are out. So if I'm gonna take another quick look at my DraftKings lineup. But I do have my my captain set. So who you got for your captain tonight?
Come on, the old MVP Mahomes, man. I trust him. He's gonna get it done.
I took Tyreek Hill.
Good option.
It's one of those situations, like it's boom or bust, Hill.
But if he booms, it's over.
You're toast. Yeah.
Like,
I could with point and a half, I could get a 75 or an 80 from Hill.
I feel it, but you really are. You're putting it all on boomer or bust with
I need a win. Dude, I need a win. I figured you were gonna go Mahomes, and I'm like 1.5. I think you're only 1.5 points behind me in our podcast contest. So Lonnie fell behind, obviously, with the quarterback picks. But yeah, you're catching up to me. So I need a win. And I feel like tonight's going to be one of those nights that he's due for a boom night.
I hope it's Kelsey's night. No, he had a 50 week like 3 weeks ago. Relax.
3 weeks ago. Exactly. It's been 3 weeks since he had a 50.
He needs one every month.
I think that's kind of about right. And it's Giants defense, and it's a big Monday night game. This has got Tyreek Hill.
The stage is set.
The stage is set for a big Tyreek Hill game, dude. And you know Mahomes, they've been dinking and dunking a lot with Kelsey. I think Kelsey probably gets 15, 18. Hill goes for 40 tonight. That's my guess. So, all right, well, we'll see what happens. All right, man. Well, it was good to see you. Good luck. What else we got? Anything else? Promo. What do you got coming up? Any shows?
Turtle Tavern this Wednesday over in Delray. Nadine show, great room. Come check it out.
Nice. All right, Wednesday night, Turtle Tavern, Delray Beach. What do I have this week? I got Thursday night. I'm in Miami at Taurus with my Gold Coast comedy tour. So yeah, should be a really fun week. And then I think that's Thursday night. Saturday night, we're doing the late show at Just the Funny. And then Sunday, back to Key West with Charlie, Stephanie, and Zach B.
Ooh, love those guys.
So yeah, it should be a fun little road trip. But anyway, yeah, all right, man. So maybe I'll see you on Wednesday night if I can make it up there. I don't know what I got going on, but have a good show.
And you too. Have fun at tours and in Key West.
Yeah, thanks, man. All right, I will for sure.